Welcome back to Movie Moshow. Today we are going to review the Russian science fiction film, The Guardians. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We post multiple times daily. Spoilers ahead. A secret organization called Patriot assembles a band of Soviet superheroes during the Cold War by modifying and enhancing the DNA of many chosen people in order to protect the homeland from threats posed by superhuman beings. Members of the team come from all of the Soviet Union's nationalities. Codenamed Asis, Arseny can transform into a massive, very powerful bearman. Tamirkin, also known as Khan, is extremely fast and carries two curved swords. Lernik, also known by the codename Lur, is capable of controlling stone and soil. Finally, Xenia has the ability to disappear underwater. The program succeeds where Module 1, a different program, fails. The designer of Module 1, Professor August Kuratov, is forced to leave the Soviet government and continue his studies in a remote wilderness as a result. He explodes the Patriot laboratory when the military arrives to take him into custody, but manages to escape because he was covered in various chemicals. He creates a cyborg out of his injured body by rebuilding it. He can now create electricity and operate machinery thanks to this. He also built a force of self-cloned soldiers and aims to show the world that he is a genius. Following the explosion, Asis, Lur, Khan, and Xenia spend several years in hiding. Several walking robots that were utilized in a training exercise today turn on the overseeing officials and murder them. Due to this, the Ministry of Defense decides to reconstitute the Patriot Group and search for its missing super agents under the direction of Major Elena Larina. She discovers that Asis is living in a lonely hut in northern Siberia, Khan is residing in Kazakhstan's steppes, Lur is spending time in Armenia practicing meditation, and Xenia is performing tricks in a circus in Moscow. They are arrested while attempting to raid Kuratov's laboratory within a former factory. The Guardians reject Kuratov's invitation to join him. He becomes enraged by this and hurts Lur while keeping three of them locked in a magnetic force field. Later, he travels to a military installation in Noginsk where he assumes command of the tanks and other vehicles that are stationed there. He invades Moscow with them and gets ready to use the Ostankino Tower and the Federation Tower for his Module 2 project. He wants to take over the world's technology by sending a signal through a defunct Soviet satellite that will be picked up by all other satellites orbiting the Earth. He protects his beacon tower with a force field and shoots down 6 jet fighters that are trying to stop him. Major General Nikolai Dolgov, a collaborator in the Russian military, asks Kuratov for a reward for his assistance, and Kuratov strangles him to death. The other team members are released from Kuratov's laboratory by Major Elena. She assigns Kuratov's former adversary to research one of his clones. Unfortunately, the real Kuratov kills him with poison gas. Asis and the other Guardians receive training and equipment from the Patriots at their facility. The Guardians arrive in Moscow, Xenia and Asis move through the streets, Lur overpowers several troops guarding a parking garage below, and Khan attempts to fly above Kuratov's force barrier using an airplane. The three Guardians enter a mall and start to cross the iron bar that connects it to the tower beacon when more of Kuratov's soldiers are firing at them from a different pipe. Kuratov's soldiers are forced to surrender after Khan leaps from the aircraft while swinging on a grapple line and cuts the pipe. Kuratov's beacon's power source is grabbed by Xenia to short-circuit it as the other Guardians try to figure out how to sabotage it. Despite being hurt, she is able to momentarily stop the beacon's transmissions, which eventually leads to the force field disintegrating. Kuratov is fought by the Guardians once again on the tower's summit, but they are unsuccessful. Khan ties all of the Guardians to a grappling rope and connects it to an airplane to make his escape using his super speed. Before the plane crashes, Kuratov tampers with the controls, but Khan breaks the grapple rope, sending them plummeting into a river. They ponder returning to Kuratov's beacon to murder him and destroy it as they leave the river, but Major Elena stops them and orders them not to, letting them know that although they are superhumans and can collect their energy to discharge it as a blast, doing so could be deadly. Kuratov's tower and the buildings supporting it are destroyed by an energy burst created when the Guardians touch each other, sending Kuratov plummeting to his death. While Kuratov bragged that he created the Guardians, according to Major Elena, they actually formed themselves. After recovering, the Guardians meet Major Elena in the newly restored Moscow. They think about staying in service to the Patriot organization even though they decide to return to their regular life. Elena informs them as they leave that we found other Guardians. After the soldier's truck stops, Elena is shown attacking him in a post-credits scene. The soldier answers her queries by stating that Ferrum dispatched him on an unidentified mission. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.